that since there is this 5-minute time,
Yes.
our participants can take a quick bio break. In fact, I would request our team to please make me co-host so that I can proceed with the session. And in this particular session, of course, there was so much of information, and our participants so actively participated. Now we are about to hear from Professor Dr. B.V. Kumaraswamiji and this holistic health, right, which all of us have been putting effort to. And just to inform our participants, from 3:15 to 4:15, there is this holistic health session which we are going to have. And after that, from 4:30 to 5:30, we'll have our sharing session with our participants. And in fact, the YouTube participants, they must have definitely put their information in that Google form, so they can also participate and in that chat put and directly put forth their sharings regarding whatever they could verify within themselves as proposals. So with this, maybe we have just 3 more minutes to resume with our session. And Akhilesh ji, will you be sharing PPT for Kumaraswamy sir?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so you can just
Akhilesh,
ji.
video,
And
audio, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yes, in fact, on this is being put over here that on 20th we'll be going for this tour to the Ellora caves in an online mode, this visit to local area, right?
Yes.
So right, and we'll be visiting this World Heritage site on 20th November at 10:45 a.m. This is our module 4, visit to local area, which is an integral part of the SIP module. The direct contact SIP module enables participants to actually visit the local area and see what is there close to their own colleges and institutes. But in this eSIP mode, we'll be taking you onto this visit to the World Heritage destination, that is Ellora, on 20th of November at 10:45 a.m. So wherever you are sitting, you can have a visit to these caves, and it is really a very enriching experience for all of us to see these sites. And
Definitely, Vanchanaji. I mean, this is so beautiful that sitting all either at our workplace or at our home, and all the participants can have a nice view with a lot of explanation also regarding our heritage. That's so good.
right, and in fact, if Arjunji is there, he can in fact put the information regarding the books in the chat box for our attendees, those who wanted to get the information. That is still possible, and we are still left with another minute before we proceed with our session on holistic human health. Today is our day 7, and over the past 6 days, we have gone through various proposals where we looked into this holistic health, how to ensure health within ourselves, right? We should not wait for getting ill and then looking for medicines. In fact, when we work on ourselves in continuation, we are able to ensure this health via self-regulation. So it is this self-regulation which we have been focusing for all our students, where they ensure health within themselves via understanding the basic concepts, understanding how to get these signals from the body, how to interact with the body and ensure the health. So that is something which we are going to look forward to. And I would like to welcome now Professor Dr. B.V. Kumaraswamy. Every day it is such an enriching experience to listen from you. Namaste, sir. Welcome to you.
Namaste, madam.
Namaste. So we can proceed with the session, sir. Our
Just for a second,
students are waiting.
Arjunji and Rajatji, both of them are with us. So we can just request them to put the details in the chat or as said. So that's it. And now we can have a session with the Professor B.V. Kumaraswamy.
Yes, sir. Please proceed, sir. Kumaraswamy, sir, we can start with the session.
Oh, we can start? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We can.
Good afternoon, friends. My young engineering students. In the last few sessions, we have been discussing about holistic human health. And last time I made it clear that you should have a very clear idea about what is it that we talk about health, the health which is your property, your possession, and certainly not you get it from either the medical profession or from the doctors. This is something that you must remember. The Indian tradition tells us the holistic, the word in Sanskrit, which tell us it is complete, it is a whole. For example, if you take a human being, he is complete in itself as a gift of the nature. The nature itself is complete. Every cell is also complete in itself. And you know very well that all these cells, even the atoms, everything are so well, nicely self-designed things. So on this basis, we consider it is universal. This phenomena is universal. Keeping that in mind, today we proceed to understand how and what are the responsibilities to see that this gift of nature in ourselves can be maintained, can be managed. So there are well defined, well documented with all the evidences, methodologies that we are going to propose to you, which has been there in our culture for thousands of years. Although with a little modifications, they all can be used very effectively. So let's start with the first. Akhilesh, next slide. Yeah, and on the screen I am getting certain comments, etc., which is okay. Okay. Now, in this slide, you can see that these are the things on a daily basis. First of all, you wake up, and last time I told you, you interact with your body. That is something that you will have to do so that you and your body are in a coherence, in a perfectly balanced mutual dependence mode. Then cleaning of your body, nourishment, physical activity, one by one, we take up and discuss all of them and try to understand. The first and foremost thing is waking up. You see, in Indian tradition, at least some of you may know very well that our grandfathers and parents, etc., they will be often telling you about getting up early in the morning. Well, I also know that this is always a problem for many of you, and some of them you take that your parents are insisting on getting up, and the things will be going on. So now you try to understand why they were talking to you about this. This early morning is a time when the environment is quiet, calm, unpleasant, and shows its impact on the body and your mind in a very positive way. You should experience this. What I am telling to you maybe looks like a theory. Those of you who have experienced, you will know. And by common sense, if you think for a moment, you see, during the night, if you sleep at the right time and take proper natural sleep, all your senses, your mind, your body, and brain particularly, will go to a complete rest, completely relaxed, which is very essential. So the next morning, if you get up, also please observe why we say in a particular time, which I am going to tell you. This morning routine is a conscious effort to take charge of all activities by self for maintenance of our health. So the responsibilities start at a very early time. Now, many of you in the modern age can go to the late of going to the late of bed is very very common, and similarly rising also late. Both things I would say is a kind of a curse of modern our technologically based life. We don't have to blame the technology. The technology what has given you, if you use them in a more intelligent and efficient way with respect to your body, then the problems out of that should not arise. For example, what is the ideal time? Next slide. If we consider sunrise time at 6 a.m. wherever you are, then the ideal time to wake up will be between 4:30 to 5:15 approximately. This time in Sanskrit in our culture is called Brahmi Muhurta, the last part of the night, the beginning of the day. It's a meeting point. This is the time. Many a times you feel, supposing you sleep, even during this time you sleep and get up, you will see that that freshness which has to be there will go away. It will not be there. But if you get used to get up early morning and see, then you will see how enjoyful it will be. Now, this is the best time to get up. So try to see that unnecessarily do not extend your waking up state in the previous night and unnecessarily getting into problems. Continuously practicing this for whatever thing you are doing, that will definitely create more problems. Many of people will argue that by doing more studies, etc., during the night, we may do the more achievements. But you will not know, or continuously, if you are doing this, your efficiency, instead of increasing, can come down. You will get stressed up. The stress can cause many problems. That's why I think please try to follow this and understand. So the next thing that we have been told to get up and do what? One of the most important procedures that we are proposing to you and we have discussed about this is about sitting up in a same position and then be very comfortable and start communicating with yourself. It may look very strange. What communication that we can do with ourselves? And of course, I am the self. No. You will slowly realize if you start doing this that there are three things importantly. One is your physical body. Other one is you, the self. The self contains your mind, yourself, there is the ego and the consciousness. Then there is the external environment. These three are continuously in interaction, but you are not conscious about that. Neither you are conscious about yourself, nor the environment, nor the body in the way it should be. And this is the practice. And once you start doing this, you will understand that all your systems have their own language to communicate with you. Unless you are very subtle, unless you are very sensitive, these things will not communicate with you. We usually say, if you are like that, you are no different from an animal. There is a very good Sanskrit saying for this. So let us not do that. If you are just eat, sleep, get up, do like this continuously, you are no different from an animal. Here is what we are telling you. You are a very conscious being. You have a wonderful things given to you by the nature in terms of your mind and consciousness, intellect, etc. You can be conscious of yourself and you can be conscious of the external world. Man is the only being who has been given extraordinary powers by the nature. Animals are a very, very limited thing. So don't you think we have a wonderful machine which is extremely dynamic, sophisticated and alive? The next slide. So this is the sacred time also. Our culture has taught to us this word Brahmi Muhurta is also a very sacred because your conscious and your life element, you are in touch with that, which you can call it as spiritually, need not be spiritual. If you don't even understand that, try to be with that. This is the very important message in this early morning getting up. Next slide, please. Now, yes, we have already said this. Mental power, which all of you want, this mind is perhaps the most powerful dynamic substance in the entire creation, which you have in full power. But unfortunately, because of our activities, which are not conducive, because of our food habits, which is not conducive, and also because of your physical and other activities which are not conducive, your mind, instead of becoming more and more powerful and sensitive, will slowly go to varieties of mental problems. Today, the modern man is having this problem in a very big way. It's an international phenomenon. To get over that, as you know, the whole world is looking towards yoga. We are now giving it to the whole world, as all of you know, and that should not happen. Okay. Now, this early morning hours is do one more important thing for you. Akhilesh, I think you have to go back to the slide. It synchronizes with the body's mechanism. You know, all should know that body has a biological clock. This works 24 hours. It doesn't rest. And it has got a beautiful communication and a mutual understanding, sensitivity towards what is going on in this environment. And this will start functioning properly during this time. It starts functioning with that. That is one another important, perhaps you can say a scientific reason. Okay. Next thing, next most important thing in the next slide, next important thing is about cleansing. You see, early morning, all of you know that most important thing everybody does is this cleansing. The cleansing, now we are going to tell you what are the things which has to be clean. For example, some of the things body does on its own. You need not have to do any effort. But here you have five senses. So all of them needs attention. The oral, the nasal, the ear, the eye, the skin, and also cleaning of other organs, and of course proper excretion. All these things are already beautifully being managed by our body, but some of them they require some extra care which needs to be done. So we're going to talk about it and understand about that. Here it is the maintenance of these five senses, especially today in our modern world. We use them more. Please remember this very well. Particularly the people who are in the engineering field, you use your eyes so much, especially because from the very beginning you are with the computer, you are with the cell phones, you are with the various gadgets, which not only give the beautiful looks that give, but it also gives something you don't want. Although technically they are being controlled, and that is the radiation. In light itself, if you do not adjust and then properly, the eyes get continuously strained up. We will come to that. First and foremost thing is the sense of taste and the oral cavity, the mouth. You see, the mouth, unfortunately today, we think only using one toothbrush in cleaning the mouth will does every job. This is again wrong information that we have been having for quite a long time, especially because chemical loaded toothpaste, which is again a curse of the civilization. You see, look at this. Let us be very scientific in our approach. Toothpaste contains things which all which have been listed, one or the other it contains. And in fact, let me also tell you a small example about this. Way back in 70s, when the English educated people, particularly from the Europe, thought that the people living in Africa, people living in Latin America and things like Asia, etc., these people have no sense of hygiene and their teeth, everything is very bad. They don't use toothpaste, for example. So they thought of going and teaching them. This is something what I am telling you is all there in the WHO. It's not any concocted story. When they went to Africa, a group, there is a beautiful video. People are been made to sit to listen to the lecture, and whenever a lecture was being going on, they were all giving a beautiful smile. When they analyzed after all thing recorded was going on, all the doctors were thinking that all these people have such a nice dentures. So such a nice dentures you don't see in Europe. Most of the people by teens they have all artificial etc teeth. They all kinds of problems they have with the dentistry. Whereas these Africans, what they had at the age 70 plus were all beautiful natural dentists. Is there anything that we can teach them? So there was a discussion. Then actually it was an. So, whereas if you use continuously from the childhood, these chemical based, they only do more damages. Whereas look at the next slide. In our country, for example, most of the well populated, world well populated country, we have fantastic, very good set of teeth and also very good use of our mouth. This is all because of we had the tradition of using something which does not simply clean, but it is something else. This is what was not known to the world. They have such wonderful things in them which will improve the quality of all the things that are there in the mouth. Scientifically, we know the mouth is not just the tongue and the teeth. It contains the nerve centers in such a beautiful way in our mouth that the moment you eat, the moment you talk, there is an immediate communication with the brain. So they have to be maintained. That our people had that not just vision but the knowledge. So, for example, they use this the powders that we make, which looks very simple. In fact, tomorrow we are going to have a demonstration in the morning where you can prepare them at your house, you can use them very efficiently, and you also know how beneficiary they are. Normally, when you use chemical toothpaste, you feel mouth is all a kind of refresh and you feel very nice psychologically. But nothing is really going on in the way it should happen because they are mainly oriented towards the microorganism, not the other culture. Whereas our approach here in these medicinal plants have effect on so many other things, particularly the gums and the teeth and all the nerve endings, they are revitalized. For this purpose, we give attention to this mouth, but it looks as though we are just cleaning. Particularly, you must all know the detergents are used for foaming purposes nowadays. Detergents. So these detergents, you can imagine what kind of a positive effect they can have on us. In this slide, you can see after cleaning the tooth, gums can be cleaned without hurting them. The gums are very important because they have the nerve endings. You will realize how gums are important when you have tooth pain. The intensive pain you won't get anywhere else. It is here the teeth is affected, you have the pain because it is such a rich supply of nerves. That's why by rubbing with nice powder of many things we have, not just we will tell you all these things tomorrow using many plants. In fact, it's a tradition to prepare in many of the villages and houses was there. Now you see it's easy for us. We go and buy in a shop and use. Okay. Next slide. You see benefits, for example. These are all known. Removes the foul smell because of various reasons, and also the tastelessness. Remove dirt and produces a good relish as a food and cheerfulness of the mind. You feel that when you use them. Prevents diseases of the teeth, tongue, and mouth. Feeling of the lightness in the mouth, no loss of taste or occurrence of tartar in the mouth will be produced. So these are all the beneficiary things. You may say These things also come from toothpaste. But toothpaste does not give you certain things which these our medicinal plants will give. Secondly, toothpaste can give you more damage. This you have to be very clear. You can go to the more information which is available to you and be very judicious in using them. Then scraping the tongue, you can use metals, silver, the copper. Avoid using plastic based scraping material, which may not be a very good idea. Next most important thing in the mouth, this is something that you will have to do positively, is making gargling of the mouth. For gargling purposes, generally people use only just water. But we have an additional thing here of mixing oil or directly using the oil, particularly the gingerly oil. Using of oil for the gargling purposes, you have to hold them in a particular way, keep it for some time. See, plain sesame oil. Sesame oil, I think most of you know, which is commonly available, or medicated oil also available. Some of the oil, for example, one particular oil is available called Irimedadi Thaila. An oil can be used for folding in mouth every day after brushing the teeth. So that will give you some effects which you cannot imagine. It makes the teeth firm. Most important, you see, giving longer life for your teeth, making them strong, and brings a natural relish for food. It can be done by using comfortable water also. It removes mucus, thirst, loss of taste, itching, removes impurities, prevents tooth decay, bestow lightness of the tooth. You will be surprised, about 25-30 years back, this was made very popular internationally by Russians who introduced this, called they use the whatever oil is okay. For example, whatever is available to you, they can be used, but particularly in some areas, coconut oil, sesame oil, these can be used. In certain European countries, even olive oil. Basically, oils are what is being recommended for this particular purposes. Now, the next important organ, the sense of smell, the nose. The procedure which is used here, these are all, as you know, very positive things that we do, not when you are sick, but when you are normal and healthy. This also will demonstrate to you tomorrow morning. This is a procedure which should be carefully followed and learned. It is also called Nasya, nose, English. Sanskrit also Nasa. What you do through this is called Nasya. The, the oil, medicated and also plain oils in a recommended way, putting them in the nose is called nasya. For example, you will be surprised what benefits it has got. We are using this in the nose, but the benefit is the complexion of the skin improves. Shoulders, neck, face, chest, these organs will develop a brightness. Prevents diseases of the eyes, nose, and ears. Ultimately, whitening or graying of the hair can be prevented. Look at that. So now you may ask me how this can be possible. Let me tell you certain things. There are certain things which we do not know. The actual mode of working, we don't know. Many of them have come out of experience. But it's not just that, there is a rationality also. You see, nose, please listen to this carefully. Brain is an organ which is beautifully shouldered, compacted, and kept in a very, very safe place in the skull. You can't approach, and there is no need to do that easily from anywhere. Nose is the place which our ancient wisdom people found out that it has got a direct connection to the brain. What we are doing here through this is that the brain's centers are beautifully activated for particular things in the base of the nose. So when the oil goes there, about the oil, there are many things which you cannot explain in this small time lecture. The hair becoming and all these things are possible if you do it on a regular basis, starting from a particular age. It can be started from a very early age. Unfortunately, now in India, you don't see this anymore in the tradition. It has been lost because for various reasons. Prevents the hair fall also by practicing it regularly. The veins, joints, ligaments, tendons of the head and neck, etc., they get the strength. Remember this area, the neck area, which connects our entire body with the upper brain, and that is the most important vital area to which we concentrate. So this procedure will see to it that the oil goes in a very, very minute way to these very, very sensitive areas and the face becomes cheerful and plumpy, and the voice, most important thing, voice benefit, sweet and stabilized. Those of you who want to have your voice or music, etc., this is one of the important thing. In addition to the mouth oil gargling, all sense organs becomes clear, and there will be considerable strength in them. See, potentiating, increasing the strength of various things in our body. Indian culture has recognized oil as a very important thing, pure ghee as another important thing. Ghee, particularly in the food, and oil externally, which again we are going to speak about it. So the diseases related to the head and neck or areas, this is one of the most important preventive methods of our tradition and culture and also medicine. Now, indications, for example, there are certain do's and don'ts. Every healthy individual, irrespective of their age and sex, can practice this. There is no such ban. But children, not too young children, we don't use it. There is an age cutoff point. For example, it has to be at least 5 years when it can understand, or even 8. That would be the cutoff age. Children. And then the aged. The aged and in the youngest children, you have to take some advice of the experienced physicians before using them. Now, the contraindications, for example, chronic purulent rhinitis, the common cold, which you will be sneezing and pouring, in such things, this should not be used. And of those who have consumed liquor, this is a taboo. Infection in the head and neck region, if you have a lot of infection there and you will be suffering, no, this should not be used. People suffering from chronic illnesses, even there, so these are all medical contraindications. So you have to find out how healthy and what you are, I have to do that. So the procedure quickly, tomorrow you will see this, to lie down in a position as shown in the picture in such a way, extended your neck and pillow under the back. Only 2 drops of just lukewarm medicated oil. These are the two names. If you want, you can note down. Are plain sesame oil, or it's also called gingerly oil, and then instill into the each nostril. When you use any of these oils, they should be just warm, and as far as possible, they should not contain any water in them. You should take care of that. After counting for 100 or after 1 minute and 15 seconds, you can get up, gargle with the lukewarm water for cleansing and throat, and then inhale just the herbal smoke, which is which is an optional thing which can be used. With practice, it may look little strange and difficult, but with practice, it can be done without others also. It's quite comfortable. It only just question of learning it. You will see how it can be done. So the next important organ is the skin, sense of touch. Here, the skin, most important thing which all of you are familiar is the oil massage on the body. Now it has become very popular, available everywhere. But we in our Indian culture insist it has to be oil, it has to be done in a proper way, possibly with some trained people. You can see most of our Asian culture have this as a therapy. Today it has become a fashion. It is being offered even by the next slide, please. Even offered even by the hotels, spas, and restaurants. Remember this: massaging with oil and exercise are the excellent for improving muscular activity. That the muscle to make them strong and active, and also make them flexible. Massage of the whole body areas, it will bring about generalized improvement in health. You will be surprised. Even one day you take this, a proper massage and a proper bath, you will see how relaxed you will be, such as relaxation, improvement of speech, sleep, specific physical benefits such as relief of muscular ache and joint. Remember, the skin and the underlying muscles have very rich supply of blood vessels, rich supply of our nervous system. They are all the terminal ends. When you do the oil and then the massage and then a beautiful if steam or hot water bath, just imagine with your common sense what happens. They all get rejuvenated. There is an increased circulation of blood. Wherever there is a proper increased circulation of a normal, then those organs will get whatever is essential properly, they will become healthy. So this whole thing has this secret in that. Perhaps in your houses, your mothers and grandmothers will be insisting, our children will resist, afterwards they will enjoy. Please use this, enjoy and get the benefits. What about the right time? Next slide. Full body massage can be done before performing strengthening the physical exercise. This is one possibility. One can apply oil daily. There is no taboo. If not possible daily, at least once in 2 days or 3 days, I would go a step ahead and say at least on a holiday, instead of doing anything, reserve the time for a good oil bath. You will see how rejuvenated will be. All the week, all the organs that you have used, all of them will get a beautiful nourishment and a relaxation, and they will get a proper reflex also. So, oil bath is a gift that we can offer for you. Procedure. Procedure again, we will demonstrate to you tomorrow. Oil massage does not mean, some of you may think that you have to have somebody, an expert who will go on rubbing on your body. Not necessarily. Oil massage can be done with a lukewarm sesame oil. It can also be done with any other oil for that matter. With certain herbs, it will be better. Without that also, it is fine. Suitable to that particular season. This is one thing which is very important. The seasonal has to be kept in mind. The place where you do this should not have direct air coming in, should not be too cold air, no AC, no fan, it should be warm. Keep this in mind. During, otherwise, the oil will not penetrate and give you the benefits. Massage can be administered with warm oil. Mustard oil can be used, particularly in certain areas where it is very cold. Mustard oil is recommended, not in the places where it is hot. For example, in South India, we don't use this because it's a hot oil. Applied slowly, gently, and direction of distribution appears. For example, you use your hand and go to the opposite side of your hands and legs, opposite to the hair's direction, so that the oil will get in very easily. Oil application particularly is important to the heads, legs, and ears. Remember, when you go to bed in the night, applying of a bit of oil to your legs, the lower side of the legs, if you apply, you will be surprised. It improve your eyesight. It give help to the eyes. That kind of a connection is there in the body. So this is recommended to be done daily. After going to bed, also a bit of oil is enough. Apply the lower part of your legs, particularly the central area. It can be done in a round pattern on joints, elbow, shoulder, knee, ankle, etc. etc. Okay, this is your oil application. Well, oil application is quite commonly known. You don't require any technical great advice. Benefits, you see plenty of benefits. I need not go to you. You just go through that leisurely. It has got lot of positive, important effects on whichever part of the body that you use. There is some contraindication. Just remember more than the indication. People suffering from indigestion or any abdominal discomfort, fever, when you're running fever, any kind of an infection, those who have just taken therapeutic emesis or therapeutic purgation, or even it can happen in any other kind of a difficult situation. And when you are not very comfortable to take a message, don't take. When you are happy, relaxed, when you think I can take, please take it. Okay. Head message is something which requires a bit of, this will be shown to you again tomorrow. Head is a very important organ because it has the brain. And the brain, it can be toned up, but regularly, particularly, there are 3 areas on your head that will be shown. If you use them in the head message, they are a very beneficiary effects. And if possible, try to do this every day, even for a few minutes, it should be fine. Procedure, comfortable posture, so that you see the picture. Application of oil over the head becomes easy. Head massage with cold or lukewarm oil, because head is the place of all senses. It is the center of all sense organs. The entire body control is there. It is considered as the most vital part. Head massage gently with the fingertip. You shouldn't do it, rub it in a big with lot of pressure. No, just use your fingertips, because forceful massage can be damaged, particularly for the hair. Do it in such a subtle way that you will be so much relaxed. Many of the times we have seen people getting the head massage procedure will go to nice sleep. So much relaxation it will give you. Application of sesame oil on the scalp with the fingertips leads to increase in the local blood circulation and promotes the absorption of the what the medicines you are using. Next slide, please. Foot massage is something which is equally important as the head massage. Again, here one can do with a bit of skill, one can develop. Let me tell you, particularly the women who are listening to this, make this as a very important aspect. If you want any kind of your senses, skin, hair, eyes, everything to be beautiful, to be glowing, you will be surprised. You have to use a foot massage. Not the other messages are not required, but this should be done regularly. This picture shown here, that is the area, the central area which requires this massage. Okay, all our great nerves endings are there. You can stimulate them. Then using the herbs for baiting, there are many herbs which can be used for that, and these herbs have beneficiary effects on you. I think we are running out of time. Okay, next one. The herbs, particularly some of you know, for example, the oil itself contains the sesame. Then you have the sarshapa, that is the mustard, the turmeric, the hridra. These are all used in making of oil. They can be even used as dry powder. That's what we are actually trying here. Some of them can be used as a dry powders on your skin. This can be done after the oil massage. Then you have got the till paste of this gingerly, which can be used. Then basin, the black gram, the green gram, the drug called mangista, which you may not be familiar, and there are a number of other drugs which are today being marketed in a very big way, but you have to be little discretionary. These can be used. Nowadays, we see a lot of markets is also there. Then lastly, but not least, a very important thing, your sense of vision, the eyes, which you have to give lot of respect than anything else, particularly the modern day, the eye is being exposed to too much of light than the necessary. Lot of hours of exposure to the light, which is total contrast to the previous life. So the eyes can easily get stressed out and get into a lot of problems. And it is an organ which is very sensitive. That's why you have to be careful. So we have some very important procedures for this. See, these are the problems people will, the very engaged people will get it. Blurring the vision, the myopia, difficulties going into the glasses. So for these varieties of purposes, we have a common important methodology for prevention. See, we are talking about prevention particularly. These are the food, some of the listed out here. The cow's milk. When I say cow's milk, well, it itself is a problem which I cannot talk to you now. Cow's ghee, badam, shatavari, green gram. There is a flower called agastya, which is available in the market. Then draksha, the dry fruits, pomegranate, carrots, and kandasharkada and avla, amalaki, gooseberry. These are all the food items you should try to take in a regular manner, in a balanced manner, which has got a beneficiary effect on your eyes. Then cleansing the eyes. If you can do this, this is very, very good. Eyes should be washed, particularly because of your environmental pollution. We get quite a lot of exposure. Triphala is an important element available all over the shops nowadays. You have to prepare a decoction, clear decoction without particles, and in this way you have to wash. Decoction ready to made on the same day by the boiling water in water and filtering with cloak or soak overnight in hot water and dry. Clear liquid you have to use for washing. This gives a removing of unwanted toxins, unwanted particles that run out in your eyes. Then you can use even eye cups or hands, which are eye cups are available. Rose water is a very important, commonly available thing. You can use it for cleansing purposes. All of you traditionally know breast milk is another important thing advocated, which is such a wonderful thing, wonderful creation. After eating food and washing our hands, use the wet hands to wipe our eyes. This is another important thing. Then Pada Abhyanga, foot massage with the cow's ghee or the oil, again coconut oil is another thing. They are all recommended for toning up of your eyes. Drishti, we call it. This is something which you can try to adopt. You see, one more important thing is the using of ghee, rubbing your hands, putting on your eyes, and then all your faces, wherever it is possible. There are many times which can possible. They all help you for ways, particularly for the eyes. With eyes closed and just take your hands with the ghee and rubbing at them, not necessarily to put it inside. Then you have a very important thing, very well known thing all over our country is the polerium. Anjana, it is called Anjan, Kajal in Hindi. A special kind of a black pigment applied to the inner coat of the eyelids. Tomorrow I will demonstrate this. You see, nowadays people use different kinds of chemicals which look color, and they think that using these things on the eye is to enhance the beauty for the external beauty. Very sorry to say, never use any of these things which are available, which are chemical based. There are methods easily you can make it known. The very natural things only you have to use, and they have to be applied inside the eyes and not outside to enhance for photography. That is not our idea at all. The method of preparation also tomorrow, a simple recipe we will give you, and this is called Anjana. These are the things, very simple thing at the houses. Most of our mothers and grandmothers know how to make it, and they are the ones which makes your eye not only just look beautiful, but they make it beautiful from inside. They become strong, very good, and also they give you power to use them more. There are some contraindications. For example, never use this when you go to the bed at the night time. A person who has not slept at the night, who is exhausted, suffering from vomiting, just taken the meals, suffering from the fever, and one who has taken head bath. In these situations, is not the right time to apply anything to the eyes. So right time for the application is during the morning after cleansing the teeth and gums when the sky is free from clouds. This is just a few seconds. If everything is there at the house, you yourself can do it or your mother or somebody can do it. Just apply properly. This is very important. You can even use the applicators which are easily available. It could be a metal, particularly of silver or copper. You can use them. Uh, Hold it properly. The two ends blunt. They should not be sharp. They should be blunted. A thin in the middle with the tip resembling a flower, and what is the best. In case of unavailability of applicator, finger itself it is clean. Most of the our sisters and mothers, I have seen them just taking it and rubbing it properly in that lower area so that it will spread to the rest of the eye. Simplest method. We will show you tomorrow. So this also, I think we're running out of time. Benefits of application. Eyes becomes beautiful, helps improve the vision. Add the three red, white, and the black portions. Also, the eye will become well defined and clean. The eyes lashes become smooth and firm. It alleviates the burning and itching sensation if it is properly made. That's very important. Remove all local discomfort, secretion, and impurities. Remember, this method in India has survived for more than 10,000 years. Very effectively, people have used. Increase the range of your vision. Enables the eyes to bear the effect of breeze and the glare of the sun. Guards against the inroads of the ocular affection. Application of collyrium eye is highly recommended. Care of the feet and the eyes. Walking barefooted for a long distance is not advisable. You should also have some footwear. Well, this is a very simple thing. Why it is care of the eyes. Okay. See, these are some of the things which I think I'm sure you know. Using the what kind of an illumination to read, the posture to read, the table that is to be used, the kind of a room, all these things play a very important role in maintaining the health of your eyes. And remember, sufficient light and adequate light, non-irritating light, these are all very important. And as far as possible, never expose eyes to unnecessary overexposure, particularly watching the TV. No, watching the TV, I want to just a few tips. I have seen many houses, adjustment of the TV screen in terms of brightness and also the picture, they put so bright, thinking that look, they will forget that they are damaging their eyes. Even the mobile phone, keep it as low. See that your eyes get adjusted to that lower emission of the light. Even the laptops, if you adjust, the eyes can adjust to any kind of thing. If you get adjust to the very bright, then that will become the normal and that can do the regular damage. So please don't do that. Watch all the simple tips which common sense can tell you. Particularly TV, we have made it more here because that is the greatest problem that we see. We see that the adjustment, the brightness, contrast, color, fitting, position, everything properly. These are all important for our eyes. Well, you engineering students, you will know this better. And there are certain exercises which will tell you tomorrow. And the exercise here is very simple. There are some movements of the light with reference to the some light that makes the muscles which move our eyelids properly. For this, we have some exercises. If you can practice them, very good. And similarly, palming, window exercise, candle exercise, sunning, handball, everything we will be explained to you tomorrow. Today we don't have the time. Palming is putting your warm eye on the eyeballs slowly in different points of time, rubbing your eyes, and then the ears. Ear is another organ which needs your attention. Again, today we are bombarding with all kinds of sound devices. So these devices that we are telling you were devised at a time when none of these devices were present. Today, with so much of that, remember how much it is required. One of the most simplest thing to enrich your, strengthen your eyes is putting a few drops of oil into your ears in a methodical way. Again, tomorrow we will demonstrate this. Prevention from the eye diseases, protecting that accumulation of secretions, log jaw. There are so many other medical indications. This will be prevented, and more than anything else, the most sensitive part of the ear, which takes your sound, it will always get disturbed by so much of noise pollution that we have. To protect it, this oiling of the eyes is very helpful. Finally, taking bath. I don't know whether we have to explain about that. It's not so much necessary, but only one point: too cold water and too hot water, and using hot water on the body and the head. This is an important point. For head, always remember the temperature that you use on the head should always be less than what you do on the body. The body below the shoulder can take a kind of enjoyment of the heat that you need, but head does not take. So the temperature should be just warm, not very cold, not very hot. Even when you apply oil and use, the temperature should be just a few degrees more than the room temperature. I could say about 35 to 36 temperature should be adequate. And too cold a water I mean to say these things on a regular basis in the house. Too cold also is not good. If you are habituated to cold water, again it should be room temperature. So these are the few things about water. And when you take bath, don't always think our idea is to remove by using lot of soap and dust from your body. This is a very wrong concept you have to adopt it. The bathing is again is very important for your skin and also your muscles below the skin and also for your mind for refreshment. So the bath is not just removing. Using of again soap, please remember, don't use too much of soap because what will happen is the skin has so many small particles, follicles from where the sweat come out of your body. And the sweat has a bit of oil content, which should not be completely removed. Your soaps with lot of detergent will remove. Advertisements will tell you it increase your beauty. I am sorry to say no soap can increase your beauty. It is only you can increase your beauty. So use mild slow soap occasionally, and in this winter season you can avoid the soap because there is no sweating. Wherever you sweat more, only in those places use proper soap, which is not with too much of detergent. A soft soap. Please remember that. Okay. Well, the time, important guidance of the bathing and warm water use. Well, I have told you this. Benefits of bath are many. Many benefits are there. Madam, time, 2 minutes.
Sir, we have 7 more minutes.
Okay, madam. Okay. Contraindications of bathing. See, there are many contraindications. One of these conditions may medical conditions, well, where the doctors would have told you, like diarrhea, distension, chronic rhinitis, indigestion, fever, too old people and too hungry persons. They have to be little careful in taking the bath. A task of simple or a taking bath can do wonders for the body. Bathing helps in removing harmful toxins from the body. The water does this job, not the soap, especially in warm or hot water. The temperature opens up your pores and toxins can be flushed out. The open pores are also crucial in removing deep-seated dust in your skin. This is the basic. Now, the finally, the universal human values. We are trying best. See, for example, what I just told you is not complete information. You will not be able to cover them completely. But if you can understand that there are methods and procedures available which you are giving you as a proposal, you can try all of them, convince yourself, try to improve, and also try to gather more information and data from various sources and try to adapt them. And one thing that we can promise you is if these things you adopt properly, the benefits what we call as towards our effort to improve your health, stabilize your health, and thirdly, promote your health. There are three ways. You already have them. The health is already they have you by birth. You will maintain by doing so many things which I have been telling you. In terms of understanding the body and then balancing them, balancing all the components. Now what today we told you is it's a little step ahead where there is a promotion. You are not just looking at the body and understanding and doing a bit of things from various sources, but today we are using various other substances, various other procedures like oil, massaging, etc., which will promote. Never in any other culture you will see in such a detailed way. These are all in the culture. Most of these things, what you see today, it may look like an academic session that I am telling you, but they are all a part of our culture. It has been practiced, but as I repeatedly telling you, our increased levels of unnecessary into the things which are alien to our culture and also the things which technology and science has given us, we have lost these things, and it is the time to use them and understand the values of these things in our daily life and get the best of the benefit. Thank you very much. Now I can take some questions, man.
Surely, sir. We'll ask our participants to raise
Yeah.
their hands so that
there is,
they
yes.
can ask questions. So, Dr. C.V. Vinayji, you have the mic with you. You can ask the question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Good
I want to know, there is some sleep disturbance, why it happens. Though I sleep on a regular basis from 11 to 6 I sleep, but in between I observe that some thoughts, some dreams going on, something on a regular basis it happens.
I understand, sir. Sir, we have a complete session day after tomorrow on sleep.
Okay, sir.
You may observe that I didn't touch sleep at all today.
Yes, sir.
It's because we have to give total attention and complete time. Then we will. Okay.
The second question is regarding the dark circles, why it happens beneath the eyes.
Well, this is again, sir. One of the things is it's a kind of a medical situation. Some of the people will get, not all people will get it. It can be due to some deficiencies. It can also due to not giving much attention to these areas. People don't give much of the attention. And also some deficiencies in the food, and also it happens. In some of the families it will run. As most of the people will try to get this. It requires a bit of medical attention. That can be possibly, it can be clear. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Miss Kanmani, you have the mic with you. Miss Kanmani. Dr. Denimol, PV. Professor Fatima Basita, you have the mic with you. You can unmute and ask your question.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Usually the doctors say that it is not good to pour oil to ear. It will create some problems.
Yeah.
So what is your opinion about that?
No opinion, madam. In India, people are using for thousands of years. They have never suffered. And one can try and see. I can safely recommend you. There is no, but it's not how much you use, when you use. Certain conditions it can create. For example, too cold oil, if you use in an area which is very cold or the air is blowing, it can create some problems. If you take the precautions that we have to tell you, which tomorrow again we are demonstrate, it will never create problems. I can assure you that.
Okay, sir.
It's
Thank
not
you.
just we started a few 100 years back also, several thousand years.
Okay,
Yes.
sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Okay.
Nice, sir. Professor Veera Maleshwar Rao ji. Vishnu Priya. Vishnu Priya, you have some question? Dr. Shashidhar Sonmad, you can unmute.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening.
Sir, please will you tell me that what's the right time in the morning to take a massage, sir, with oil body massage? Right time in the morning.
Ideal time is morning. That is, if you take routinely. If you cannot, you create an atmosphere in a room which is adequate enough. They can take even other time also. For example, evening also you can take. There is no problem.
Okay.
Morning generally recommend because that is usually the best time for use.
Hello, sir.
Miss Kanmani.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So after taking head bath, shall we take oil?
After taking head bath?
Shall we use oil for head?
Oh yes, there is no contradiction to use it again. That means you are talking about after oil bath, removing again to apply oil, is it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You can, if you are used to that, you can use that. There is no contraindication. But
Okay,
allow until the scalp is dried properly. No water should be. Okay.
Okay, sir. Then night time, shall we take the oil, sir, for head?
Night time also you can use. There is no contraindication.
Okay. So regularly can we take the oil for head for night, and after morning shall we take the head bath, sir?
I think you are asking to apply oil in the night and take head bath in the morning, is it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See, for taking head bath, oil head bath, we don't recommend to do that throughout night. Applying is not required.
Okay, okay.
Just apply oil and taking bath, 1 hour is enough.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
Other time when you apply the oil, most of the time you apply to the hair more than the scalp. Is it?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here we are recommending not for the hair. All of you please listen to that. It is hair will not absorb any oil.
Okay.
Oil application is to the head, it is the scalp.
Ah, okay, okay, sir.
Particularly the skin below your hair. That is important. Okay.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Sir, in modern culture, sir, like a lot of these so-called fitness freaks, they recommend that one takes bath in extremely cold water, especially after they have sweat and were under heavy physical strain and working out. So is that recommended or is it totally
No, see, it is,
detrimental?
I don't know why it is recommended. Any idea? Do they say why?
No, sir. They just say that cold.
Hmm.
It's called cold shower, sir. So so generally after you work out or something, you stretch your muscles and then you take a cold shower. You don't take a hot shower.
See, from
So
what I know, I can certainly tell you why these people have made. I don't know, but one thing is certain: after you do a lot of exercise, all your skin, your muscles, everything would have worked up, and the heat will be rise. During that time, your body will release the sweat. You will lose the toxins, etc. If you suddenly take a cold bath, you just imagine physics. What happens? The blood vessels will shrink. The nerves which are excited, they all will shrink, but they do not have a positive value. To my mind, with a bit of a medical knowledge, I can tell you, unless they explain why that is recommended, at least we don't recommend it. I don't.
thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So it's always good that you take bath in lukewarm water.
Lukewarm water, precisely. Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
That too,
Professor-
after exercises, not immediately. We should give some time before taking bath. We recommend
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir. Like, suppose I go to play, like I stretch for around 15 to 20 minutes, and then
Okay.
another 10 minutes, and another 10 minutes, I just cool down. And
You have
it is after that I go and take my bath.
allow the system to get into normal with its own
Yes,
done.
sir. Yes, sir.
Professor Veera Maleshwar Rao, Vishnu Priya, Alvin, you have the mic with you. You can just touch on mic, unmute it and get your question. Professor K. Fatima Basita, Mr. Kailash, Ankush Rao Atkare. Maybe the voice is not reaching there. Mr. Vasantan.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, I should thank you, sir, because last 15 years I didn't apply oil. I didn't use oil because I used only shampoo.
Okay.
Sir, I now understood that benefits as well as drawbacks.
Yeah.
So I should thank you, sir. Hereafter, just I apply oil at my hair.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Roshan Shifana, you have some query? You have some question to ask? Roshan Shifana?
Am I audible?
Yes.
You're audible. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Is it to take head bath daily?
There was
Hello,
a
sir.
break of voice.
Not getting your voice, Pita. Not getting your voice. Please repeat.
Is it good to take head bath daily?
If it is possible for you, not just water, but with oil, you can take it regularly.
Oh,
You can get
okay,
you.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's not contraindicated.
Hmm.
it can be used.
Okay, sir.
Jaspreet Kaur.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So what is the reason behind sudden itching, starting of sudden itching in the eyes?
Well, usually some kind of a pollutant in the atmosphere getting into your eyes is the commonest reason. For some of these pollutants which you may be allergic to, you may not be resisting that will produce this itching commonly. Simple washing by rose water should be okay. And then find out when you get this exactly. Find out the cause and try to eliminate it. Usually some pollutant. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Sir, you mentioned about the light being, it is going to provide so much of disturbance to our system.
Yeah.
And nowadays, many of them are replacing the existing one with the bright LED lamps. So, which is simply irritable, and moreover, the lights of the vehicle while traveling, it is a total irritation.
Very irritation, yes.
But somehow it has to reach the government, and they have to take some steps to make the headlights not that much bright. So it is a very great nuisance, sir. Sir, one more question I want to ask regarding dandruff, sir. It is I find in many of the youngsters they are suffering with dandruff.
It's a menace, yes.
The younger generation specifically.
Yes.
How to overcome, sir, that one?
See, the dandruff is generally due to a fungus.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, because you keep your scalp so dry by using shampoos.
Yes, sir.
See, you keep your scalp dry and they have a very healthy environment to grow.
Okay, sir.
See, earlier people, I think you know that we always used to have some oil on the head.
Yes,
and the dandruff was never a problem.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Not only the keeping them very dry with the shampoo, oil application is almost never, very, very rarely, and it's never.
Yes,
and that is cultivated, it can be regulated, and then it requires some medical attention. Some medicines are required.
Okay, sir. Is it possible to completely remove that, sir? Because I have my daughter and I'm struggling, and I'll be applying the neem paste. I'll be grinding neem at home. I'll do a regular application weekly once like that. It goes off, then it will come back again after some time.
No. You see,
So I'm
if
struggling
somebody says, in our practice, we doctors see that if somebody says, I don't have dandruff, or somebody says, I don't have BP at the age of 50, then we say there is something wrong with you. Which it is a menace.
Okay.
So, whatever that you said that you are doing is good, but do it regularly.
Okay.
And whenever that is your scalp is free, apply some oil, use them, and then you see.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
In fact, there are a number of participants raising their queries, but we have to take time into consideration.
Yes.
That is something which is there with us. So with this, maybe we would like to put our question answer session to rest, and maybe tomorrow we can again take up another set of questions. It has been really a very informative session for all of us, where each one of us, through their own day-to-day experiences, whatever we can incorporate in our living, so as to ensure health of each of these, the head massage and all these activities which we can carry forward for ourselves on a daily basis and ensure health within us. So very nice, and thank you, sir. Thank you very much for such a wonderful and interactive session. Our participants have really been enriched by all what they have got from this session, and maybe tomorrow again we would look forward to hear from you, sir.
Madam, tomorrow morning the demonstration 1 hour program is there, and all these things will be covered, so people can utilize that tomorrow morning.
Please try to procure the things which are mentioned in slide.
Right. So this session will be held, and so our participants can be benefited by this in the morning session. So very nice. And
Thank you,
now,
Akhilesh,
yes.